All right, welcome back to Dilemmas Concepts. What we're looking at today is a topic called transposition, right? Or in some places, it may be called literal equations. So we're going to start off to see how we can solve some of these ideas. All right, let's go. All right, let us say we have the square root of ym over t, and this is equal to ab, and we want to make y the subject. So for y, which means at the end of the day, we want to have the y isolated and by itself. Remember that whenever you're dealing with these, it's the inverse operation that works, and we balance the equation. So first we want to find out where is the y. You could see that the y is completely underneath the square root sign, which means that in order to have access to it, we want to get rid of this square root first. The inverse of a square root is a square, right? So then we're going to square both sides, and we're going to square these. So on the left side, when you square the square root, then they will cancel out, leaving ym over t, and this is equal to a square b square. Now remember that we need to find y. The next move that we want to make is to get rid of the fraction. So we're going to multiply both sides by t. So on the left side, t cancel t, and we're left with ym, which is equal to a square b square t. In order to find y is being multiplied by m, so we want to divide both sides by m. Finally, y is equal to a square b square t. All of this is over m. Right, so there we go. That's our first example. There are more than one ways we can approach this problem, but one of the easier way is to remove the fraction first. So we want to get rid of that denominator, right? So in order to get rid of the denominator, what we want to do is to multiply both sides by t, so that on the right side, this t cancels itself there one time. Now let's rewrite what we have. Tg is equal to the square root of a plus b. So in looking at this, now we want to access the a, and the a is completely under the square root sign. We want to employ using the square. To get rid of the square root sign, we're going to square both sides. So then we would have t square g square is equal to a plus b. In an effort to find a, we will now subtract b from both sides, minus b, and then minus b from the other side. Let's finalize this. T square g square minus b is equal to a. There we go. A is by itself. We could get rid of that 2 as a denominator. We could multiply both sides by 2. So we're going to multiply the left side by 2, multiply the right side by 2. So basically, this cancels itself right there. So now we have 2e, which is equal to mv squared. At this time, we want to divide both sides by m so that the m on the right side cancel, balance by dividing the left side by m. We're now looking at 2e over m, and this is equal to v squared. The inverse of a square is a square root. So I'm going to take the square root of v squared and balance by taking the square root of the left side. Finally, the square root of 2e over m is equal to v. There. So we want to make t the subject right here. one of the things that we could do easily is to gather the t's on one side. So I'm going to call it my t's on the right side. So basically, a minus 3t, I'll be adding t to the left side, 3t to the left side, which means that I'll be adding 3t to the right side for balancing. This cancels itself. So a is equal to rt plus 3t. On the right side, you're noticing that I'm having two t's here, which means that t is a common factor. So I'm going to factor out t. T into rt is r. Then we have a plus 3. So now we have a single t. Dividing both sides by r plus 3, we could now conclude that a over r plus t is equal, r plus 3 should say, is equal to t. All right, let's do another one. We have p over s is equal to q over s plus r for s, not r, s. All right, so what we want to do here is we're going to multiply throughout by s. So we're going to have s times p over s, which is equal to s times q over s plus s times r. In simplification, s cancels itself here, there. We're now left with p, which is equal to q plus s r. Then we're going to minus q from both sides. So we'll have p minus q, q minus q, plus s r. So then if we're looking at this, p minus q is equal to s r. Then we're going to divide both sides by r. So p minus q over r is equal to s. There you go.